Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live with the Francis Climber in Mountain Village, Colorado. It's a Saturday, first day of college football primarily. I'm redoing some old videos here, and most of these are short, and I'm doing it because the background sound on some of these that deal with the topics I'm talking about was really bad, so I wanted to redo it so that my message would get out very clearly. If you want to find out anything about me, go to MySpace where I have a page. Okay, this one here deals with the electronic ankle bracelet. And obviously that's something that a person wears, you know, if they're a convicted pedophile that's let out of prison or on bond or parole or whatever. Electronic ankle bracelet is basically to know where a person who has been convicted of a crime or accused of a crime is at, so they can't harm another person. Well, here's something that should be given strong consideration is when it comes to things like domestic violence. This is where one lover is a threat to their other lover. We'll just use it at that. Husband, wife, boyfriend, doesn't matter. And I think my idea here would help save a lot of lives, because so many women primarily are murdered by their boyfriends or husbands. For some reason, they become violent and become murderers. And this also would be possibly a help to prevent some pregnant women who get pregnant by their boyfriends who decide to murder them before having to pay child support. And so this could possibly be a big help. If you hear any scratching noises, I'm in the Francis Climber, and there seems to be somebody in another room here somewhere dragging chairs and furniture across the floor. So anyhow, the electronic ankle bracelet would be a big help in the case where, let's say a woman has taken a restraining order out on her boyfriend because he has violent tendencies or has a history of violence. Well, in some cases, if that boyfriend does have a history of violence, and it can be proven, a judge could order him to put on an ankle bracelet, an electronic ankle bracelet for the police so they can monitor him. This way, the police know where he's at, at all times. I don't know if it's constitutional. That's something the lawmakers would have to look at, the courts would have to look at. But if there's a history of violence, and a woman has to take out a restraining order, well, this might be the only way she's going to survive this, and that would really be the question: is it constitutional? But again, as I said, you have to. The guy would have to have a history of violence. That means he would have had to been arrested for violence, like domestic violence, something like that. And this should apply to stalkers. If a stalker is found stalking, let's say, a celebrity, okay, same thing applies. That stalker, once in court, should have to wear an ankle bracelet, even if it's for 4 or 5 years down the road. You don't stalk people. You don't do that. You leave people alone. I've had a lot of girlfriends in my life, but I'm not going to sit outside the door watching what they're doing. If I don't trust them, then I'm not interested in them anyway. You have to trust somebody. And I've had girlfriends I break up with, and okay, that's fine. There's always more girls out there. You have to always remember that. You can't get obsessed with just one. There's plenty of girls out there for like we guys. There's just no need for that. You can't become obsessive. You've got to, just remember that as long as you're alive, there's always hope. So when a relationship breaks up, well, the door's open for many more. It's just is that what you want? Here in Telluride, in Mountain Village, dating is really, really lousy. But if I get desperate, really need companionship, I can always move. There's nothing to prevent me from moving. And that's exactly what I'll do. And I can go back to Vegas, and there's plenty of girls out there today that can really get a date first day there. And let me just say that women in Vegas are not as they're portrayed in the movie. They're not, they're just like most women around the rest of America. So, I just don't like the way women are portrayed in Vegas in the movies and television shows sometimes. There's a lot of nice mainstream ladies out there in Vegas, intelligent, business-oriented, professionals. And then some are just trying to make ends meet, trying to have a good life. That's all there is to it. Anyhow, I still think that the electronic ankle bracelet should be considered in the event that a woman or even a man has to take a restraining order out on a lover, and that lover has made threats or has a history of violence. And this is one way we could possibly stop some of these violent people from committing murders against their ex-lover. That's the only way I know we can slow it down, at least. If it saves one life, to me it's worth it. You know, as everybody that's watching this video knows how horrible, you know, domestic violence is. It's one of the worst types of crimes and some of the most violent on the earth. And so I think if you like the idea, you think it has merit, why don't you pitch it to your congressman and let them see if it's constitutional, and let's see if it works. It may not work. It may not be constitutional, but unless we can find out, we'll never know. So anyhow, that's basically just what I wanted to say about the ankle bracelet, and I think it would really save a lot of lives. And it just tears me up to see so many people, innocent people, every week, every day, it seems like on the news, who have been murdered by an ex-lover. And I just sometimes believe that if you know where they're at, if you know where these violent ex-lovers are at, maybe then they can be stopped, or it might be enough of a deterrent for some of them, or for most of them. Again, if the ankle bracelet's torn off, hopefully that's the police responsibility to know it's been taken off. They can inform the other person that's taking the restraining order out on them that that person is missing. That person then can maybe run for cover, get some help. Anyway, that's my idea. I hope you like it, and I hope one day it becomes a reality if it is constitutional.